2022. Ben Carhart was playing third base in the Cubs organization when a guy by the name of Chris Bryant came along. His position quickly changed. In 2016, his role in the organization would change again, but the change still ensured he'd be a Cub for life.
Game, I'm like, man, I really wish I was facing this guy. You know, this guy's throwing 88 up there, left-handed. This is what I was good at. My bat speed could handle this. But, I mean, there's times where a guy's on the mound throwing 100. I'm like, see, this is exactly why I'm coaching right now.
Smokies coach Ben Carhart didn't always feel that way. Drafted by the Cubs in 2012, Carhart spent 4 years in the minors as a utility player. Then in spring training of 2016, the conversation no player wants to have came. His came with a caveat.
I was kind of nervous as to what they were going to say because I thought I was getting released, to be honest with you. And they were like, you know, we want you to be a Cub forever. We love your personality, what you bring to a team. You know, maybe next year get your foot in the door with coaching and all this. And I was like, I get it, completely understand, sounds good.
He spent the following year as a player coach, 2 months in Iowa learning the job, and ending the season in Tennessee back in the batter's box.
A 3-run shot for Carhart.
Following year, Carhart made the transition to full-time coach. At season start, he was coaching 18 former teammates.
My first spring training here in 2016, I lived with a kid named Chesney Young, who was one of my best friends here. I lived with him in the apartments in Knoxville. Showed up the next year, and I'm sitting in a meeting talking about him and his career, and then the next 30 minutes I'm outside talking to him like we're buddies, and they're trying to pick my brain about things.
His new role meant establishing new boundaries, but his proximity to the game gave him the ability to relate differently.
As long as I'm in the lineup, I can hit 9.
That's the type of attitude I want in my players.
Good.
What a guy. The relationship I have with the guys is kind of friendship first and then coach. That helps out the older levels, I think, because as soon as you get their trust, then anything can happen on the field.
Knowing what he knows now, Carhart admits his career could have been different. But rather than focus on the what-ifs, he tries to impart his newfound wisdom on the guys around him.
Be who you are, you know, understand what you do well and understand what you need to work on, and go out there every day and continue to hammer away at the things you do well and realize what your weakness is, because once all those weaknesses are taken care of, I mean, that's when you are really on the verge of being a big leaguer.
Carhart told me the thing he misses the most about playing is kind of that locker room camaraderie, the ruffling of the feathers, but that he still gets that within the coaching staff. Lori and Bo.